Every independent artist and producer should be running their career and thinking of everything they do like a record label.
What are you trying to build? What is this thing ultimately supposed to be? And for a lot of people, it should be a retirement plan. It's super easy to start a record label. In order to do this, there are administrative things and legal things. We teach you all of this. A lot of people get so overwhelmed that they just never take action.
Yeah.
And some people either have this dream already and they haven't taken the steps to do what they need to do, or they don't even know that this is something they should be doing. I did this. That Orko, partnered with me, and we just came to the conclusion at one point that it made no sense to just, if we were going to stay independent, to not have our own enterprise. And even if we signed with a record label, to not build up our own entertainment business in the meantime.
For
So
sure.
that's why we started our record label. It is super easy, and let's break it down. All right. So I thought we would start with just discussing like the passion piece, because everyone wants to do this because they feel passionate about music or working with artists. Let's go on that. That is the foundation of what's going to make your record label successful. We'll work out the logistics. We'll get you covered. We're like addicted to music. It's just what we do.
Right.
We love making music. We love performing. We love all the things that are involved with it. And so I think that's what drove us starting our label.
We want to do things correctly. We want to succeed. In 2024, there's really no excuse to not have knowledge about how things work. There's so many resources, that weren't there 20 years ago to artists, as far as learning the music business, as far as taking control of your career. For me, I used to sit around and just get super excited thinking about, of course I wanted to be this big artist, but then the ultimate goal was then I can have my own record label. Then I can be like Trent Reznor and like have like Nothing Records and sign bands that I want to help kind of develop that are in my whole sound. And that's another exciting thing that you can do when you start a label, is what you do is you build an infrastructure around yourself, right? Like you just get excited for the image and the vibe, and it's like you're creating a scene or a collective under what you're doing. I don't know, it's super exciting.
Well, and then we're all excited. So then the execution pieces here
Yeah.
are pick a name. If you haven't picked a name, just pick a name. But then you need to run a knockout search. Okay, I've discussed this in detail in another video, but the knockout search is just to make sure no one else has your name. Don't put in all this effort and you're using, like Universal. Okay, it's just someone else has got it. Just
take the time. That's what's fun.
Need contracts for your music business? Go to topmusicattorney.com to get downloadable templates such as NDAs, record label agreements, management agreements, featured artist agreements, and so much more. Go to topmusicattorney.com. So maybe you have the name already. Make sure you get the social media handles right away. It should be the same username on every single social media. And it doesn't matter if you're going to post on it or not. Make sure you get it, because someone else could just take your name and start posting as you. So get all the handles, even if you're not going to do anything with it, and get the website. As a label, again, even if you were just representing yourself and building something around yourself, your company, your team, like however you do this, have a professional presentation, a quick landing page that's not super complicated. It does not take much time to set up, and you should have something simple because it just makes you look so professional. We talk to award-winning, music supervisors and producers and all the things, and people love just being able to look at a quick website for you and see how professional you are. And then guess what? You can get an email associated with that website where it's like Tom's Blue Sunrise something. I don't even know. But it's Tom at tomsbluesunrisesomething.com. And so it just gives you this very professional edge that helps you to stand out from everyone else. This is what this game is. Everyone's special and no one's special. What is special about you will stand out in that you will not be lazy. You're going to put effort into all these little details. And you're going to do that because you're super passionate. Okay. So then, the second thing as far as starting a record label, super easy, is understand that what this is you building something that it is first and foremost you. When we started it, it was just us. Everything from music videos to content creation to promotion to figuring out the live shows and the backing track. It was helpful that we both had different skill sets and we could do different things, but it was us. The label was us. And then slowly, as we just got people excited about what we were doing, it's like, wow, you're really doing this. It's awesome. And I want to be a part of this. Some people started volunteering, and then we got some money and we started paying people, and then we actually hired proper staff. Now people are on salary. And so you have the ability to start growing it, but the label is you. And I want to emphasize that. Think like a label, regardless of whether you actually become a label and you're signing artists. If you don't want to do that, that's cool. But this mentality is very important that you instill it within yourself.
Every independent artist and producer should be running their career and thinking of everything they do like a record label. That's just how it is. Like your ultimate goal is to quit the 9 to 5 job and just make music and just do things in the industry and, plan events and come up with artwork and maybe eventually a fashion brand, all these kind of things. Like you want to get to all of these levels to get revenue in. So you are just making money with your music and you're owning the music and all these things. And as a record label, as those things, you can bring your friends up, along with you if you want, because you're always out and you're like, oh, this guy's really cool. Like I can work with him, I can help him. Because as you're learning these things, as you're learning the business, like you have knowledge and now you can apply that knowledge to making it work for you as
Yeah,
far as
and the
running your
and even
career.
the yeah, and even the passion piece of when you're coming up, some of the best people that are all actually on our team, we just kind of they were in the ancillary of what was happening, and then we
Yeah.
just kind of like, so wow, like this person's really invested. They really support us. They really want to be a part of this. And we're like, let's hire them. Like they're
Let's
perfect
see
for
what
the
we can
team.
do
So
with,
you
yeah, what
you
can they
start
do?
building up a team of people who are so passionate about what you want. And ultimately, isn't that the goal? We all want to get signed with record labels because we think they're going to be so passionate and they're going to
Yeah.
support us and they want to help us and all stuff. What if you could just build that for yourself? The next thing, as far as like when you are going to launch your own label and become your own label, to think about your niche. Again, if you're just your own bands, your own solo thing, if you want to sign some people, like either way, you niche down a little bit. And
Yeah, for
one of
sure.
the examples that I love so much is FiXT Records. We interviewed the co-founder, James Rhodes. Great interview. He gives
And
so
yeah,
much, like
seriously.
he just
I'll link it down. I'll
yeah,
link it
so
down.
so much like behind the scenes information about being a seven-figure record label owner. Anyway, what they do is they focus on synchronization. It's like
Yes.
their cake, their bread, their cheese. I don't know, they're all the things, and they don't waste time on music videos. They don't waste time even on touring. They do synchronization focus where they want to get the music placed because that's where a
Yeah.
lot of great money is earned. And so they niched down not only in what they did as a label, right, focusing on that one service, but they also focus on like industrial
Yeah.
rock fused music, which is so niche. It's not like, oh, we're doing like corporate music. No, it's like a very
No,
niche
but that's
subgenre.
what you wanna do. You definitely wanna have a niche or genre, and that's a I love that example because they figured out a way to cut a lot of costs. You really need to see this interview because I'm actually surprised at how much that James talked about in the interview because he really lets you know numbers of what they're spending on their artists, what they're doing to promote the things that they do, where the money's kinda coming from doing as far as niche. But no, I was just thinking about that interview. It was so good.
And guys, everything's sync related. I got the sync course coming for you, and I'm just so excited because it's just your templates, your contact information for all these people. It's just I make it very,
Robust.
very easy if you want to get your music into TV, film, and games. So that's coming very soon. Make sure you sign up to be on the email list so you can get notifications about that by going to topmusicattorney/newsletter or just click the link down below. Ever dream of getting your music into TV, film, and games? Well, it's easier than you think. And here's what I put together for you. A music library database of 90 plus music libraries, email templates, and a license agreement, all so it's done for you. Go to topmusicattorney.com for sync licensing made easy. The next thing about starting the label, you got to do this, okay? So it's now, we have the passion, we're building the team, we're doing the stuff. It's actually getting the legal things in line, okay? So number one is getting your limited liability company set up.
LLC.
You got to do that, okay? Because you need to have a legal structure around you to protect your interests, to protect your personal assets. And you need to do this in the beginning. A common question is, well, do I really need to do it? I don't really have anything going on right now. No, that's the time you have to do it, is before anything happens. So
Don't do it
set up
when
the
it's too late.
LLC, but then you have to make sure you register your copyright. You need to make sure you get your trademark. You need to make sure you have your basic contracts. We dedicate so much time
Checklists,
to teaching you
templates.
guys this stuff on this channel. So if you dig this content, please make sure you subscribe right now. Okay, give it a big thumbs up. So just be part of the fam and be empowered that you can do all of this stuff yourself. Does it have to be solely your LLC? Does it have to be solely dedicated to music as opposed to usual business LLC? You make sure you have a separate thing for your music efforts, right? So if you set up an LLC and you're using it for music, but then you're also like live stream person and you also do construction on the side, you shouldn't use that for all the things because those are all the things that could go down in flames. You
Right.
want to have a separate LLC for your separate things. So there should be one that's just for your music. Great question.
Stay protected.
Now we need to figure out how to actually build your presence online. And so, such a huge focus of what you have to do is into getting the word out about what you're doing. Whatever
Yeah.
you're doing right now for your marketing plan and your scheduling and things like that, it's not enough. It just isn't. And if you tell me, I kind of post every once in a while, that's pretty much what everyone says. If you go, I have a schedule and I try to do like one to two times a week. Hell no, that's not good enough. And so I think that people have it in their minds of what is okay in order to be successful. The bar is higher than that. You have to shoot higher.
You should want to, like, you should be super stoked about this because, like, this is it. This is the dream. Like, this is what you want to be doing with your life. You want to be making music. You want to be making content. You want to be putting it out there. The key to everything is organization, lists, templates, every little thing, way that you can kind of stay on track with these things, because you are going to be setting the bar for whether you're the artist yourself and you're running a label around yourself, or whether you are planning just to have artists. You need to show them the work ethic, and it's fun work to do. We've even given them out on the music business jumpstart training. We have a marketing schedule PDF download that literally tells you what your posting schedule is. But
Yeah,
it's
and that's
things
free.
like that.
That's free. We'll make sure to link it down below. But yeah, you can get a full, marketing schedule just to get some help. What about oversaturation or viewer follower fatigue? For everything that I've done and the music businesses that I have been able to grow to six figures, the stuff that we have done with our label, showing up is the most important thing. And the people who are interested in what you're doing, they don't get fatigued
Right.
by you posting and showing up every single day. You think that you're being a certain way, you're not. But if in fact your stuff is getting fatiguing and you think so, it means you need to switch it up. That's why we vary content. We do pictures, we do reels, we do live streams. So you have to still keep that. Grant Cardone, some of you know, a big guy in kind of the finance and business world, he talks about he wants to make people annoyed. He wants to be so
Right.
oversaturating the market of like, oh, I've heard that song so many times. Oh, I keep hearing about that person. He goes, that's what we're actually striving for.
We've also talked about artists like Elijah the Boy, who's an independent artist who is just keeps pushing out the same content and the same content and same content. And then when people complain about it, he posts that to use the same content. He works it together, and then but everything goes up. His numbers just keep going up like crazy. I think that content fatigue is an illusion in your head, because your content isn't getting to everybody every time. And if you think that everybody is seeing your content, they're not. You're not getting pushed out to the same people every time you
Yeah.
post.
Let me just interject. Remember that the algorithm shows content to people who want to see it. Think about that for a second. It doesn't show you stuff it doesn't want, that you don't want to see, because it doesn't want to lose you and lose the platform. So if people are already watching your stuff and seeing your stuff, it's because they like your stuff. They want to see more of you.
That is just all in your head as far as just audience fatigue. If you're posting content and it's not getting numbers on it, well, then you haven't posted the right content yet. Because at the end of the day, Instagram, TikTok, all these platforms, they don't want to punish you. They want people to stay on the platform as long as possible. So they are going to reward content that people are actually looking on. They know when you're scrolling, if you stopped a little bit and hesitated, even if you didn't hit like, they know that people are just stopping and hesitating. If nobody's stopping and hesitating, are you getting their attention in the first 3 seconds if it's a video?
Music Attorney is your #1 legal resource for artists, producers, and record labels. Get contract templates, one-on-one legal advice, free master classes, and everything you need for your music business. Go to topmusicattorney.com. On the action item here, because the promises of this video is how to, in the most easy way, start a record label. Okay, so first of all, it's all the basic things of pick the name, get the social media handles. You do want to get the website, you do want to get the professional email, but you can start moving on it right away. If you're releasing music, right, for yourself, let's say, or for your band, you should put the name of your label as the releasing agent, as the distributor. Start using the name. Make sure you set up the LLC.
Yeah.
The LLC is the thing that's going
It's
to
key.
be on behalf of your label. If you do want to sign artists, you have to get a recording agreement. You make sure you have proper agreements for
You
everyone
cannot
that
skip that step.
you can't skip that step. And I know it can get expensive. So if you need a template, go to topmusicattorney.com. We have them for you there. They're discounted, so you don't have to go through a law firm. Okay. But whatever you're doing, you have to make sure you insulate and protect yourself, get your copyrights, get your trademarks. These are all your to-do items. I have in-depth videos on how to do this. I even have full-length courses and things like that. But you can get it all for free here on the channel as well. So beyond that,
Protecting
you're going to
yourself is where you get the most money. You know what I mean? Like, because you're saving yourself from any potential lawsuits or anything that can cost you everything. So do not skip these steps. Do not skip these steps of getting your business right at the jump. You can't, after you already have problems and it's too late. Like if you're getting and it's first time seeing an attorney is because you're dealing with somebody suing you. I don't even know what you're doing. Like, so just have these conversations. You're not doing this to fail. So you never know when a hit is going to come out of, nowhere, unexpected from a demo, something that sounds terrible that you released, or that you put out, you didn't know. I just see it happen too much. And so just stay protected.
Yeah, and if you are trying to do a traditional label, again, making sure you have your recording agreement with your artist, but also having a clear relationship with how that's supposed to go, who's going to
Yeah.
own the music, what are the royalty percentages, are you paying advances, how long is the agreement for? These are all things that you need to actually discuss, but think about your genre. What are you trying to build? What is this thing ultimately supposed to be? And for a lot of people, it should be a retirement plan. If you have a day job, that's fine. But the idea is to get this as your full-time gig so that you have the label making money to support you as the owner, right? Or you and your partners as the owners, but to support your artists. And so like we all get to break bread and feed
And
together.
and collecting music catalogs, when you sign them, you're collecting catalogs so you can sell them. You see how much these deals are going from when these artists are selling those catalogs. Like, who do you think is getting the money from when they're selling this stuff? Like, it's crazy. Like, get involved. Get involved. There's so much opportunity out there.
This is a really good question. It comes up often in regards to, well, what if I'm in a different country, right? The great thing about this is that for your contract, you can define what law applies. So it actually doesn't matter. So, for example, in the record label agreement that we have on topmusicattorney.com, it's templated so that you just say whatever country you're in, you go the choice of law, the jurisdiction, if any dispute arises, is in this country. So even if we have an artist who, let's say, is in Canada, but the label is in the United States, the label can say where they want to have it, which might be in the United States. So for the four corners of the contract, you get to set that. So don't feel like just because you're getting a contract template that you're stuck to whatever country that it was
Right.
drafted in. No, you get to revise that, which is the amazing thing about doing contracts. You can make them exactly how you want. This is your sign. If you made it this far in the video, this is your sign. It's time for you to
Let's
start your
go.
record
Let's
label.
go.
Drop a comment down below of your record label name, and we're here to help you grow.
Do it.